In a later episode, you go back to Montana and you're hanging with your family, and there's a really interesting exchange with your parents. And Billy, I don't know if it was Billy or whoever was doing the camera, was asking, are you proud of your daughter for standing up for herself and for speaking out and taking on the role of, you know, going to the women's marches and things like that? And your parents were a little taken aback by your outspokenness.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a little bit of shock to me too, because my parents are so supportive. They come from a generation where, especially as Native people who are on the res, and we live in very much border towns where there's a lot of animosity to Native people, and there were signs on the doors that said like, no Indians or dogs allowed. So I understand generationally why they're afraid for me. But I think as the season goes on and they see these episodes come out, I think maybe their minds will change. If we don't speak out, then who will?
Exactly. In another episode, when you're still in Montana, you are sort of driving around and you come across a carpet factory, an abandoned building that's been there probably your entire life.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a blight on the community because it's sort of all, you know, janky looking and falling apart.
It's like eyesore.
It's a bit of an eyesore. But you've always had a dream to turn that into
a factory. One day I really do envision seeing manufacturing come back to our communities, because that's really where I learned. I learned to sew and design from my relatives. Like, people have that trade in our communities, it's just natural. And there's 100 bee yellowtails back in Montana. Like, they're all on the Crow and Northern Cheyenne res, you know? And I think that like, if we can connect that dot and see like, this isn't anything like new revolutionary, but we can take these jobs back. Like, how incredible would it be to have like an American fashion brand that's Native American, it's fully sourced from our communities, it comes directly from our hands, like it's true sovereignty. That's my dream.
So tell us what we can expect from the show and what you're, you know, do you want to do a second season? Is this something that's in your blood now? Are you enjoying the idea of being a YouTube star?
YouTube star, I didn't think about it like that. If it was a Native producer and director like Billy, absolutely. It's so important all the way from the foundation of these stories that Native people are included in that, and I just really feel grateful that it was in his hands and he took care of it and that I trusted him.
Tell me a little bit about the response that you've gotten so far and what you're hoping viewers are going to take away from the series.
So far so good. Not too many trolls, which is great, but I hope that the viewers and people who are watching, first I hope that Native people, we get to see ourselves. Like, we get to really see ourselves, see our stories that are happening now, and that like little kids like me when I was younger, I didn't see myself. And how can you believe and dream if you don't see yourself? Yeah. And so that's the #1 most important thing for me, is I'm really excited about that. Like, little girls from like the Crow and Northern Cheyenne Nation or whatever tribal, you know, nation they come from, they can see themselves and know that they get to be there and they're valuable and they're worthy. Because it took me years and years to like discover that for myself. And if I can just like streamline that and make it happen, you know, from a YouTube show, absolutely. I still feel a little uncomfortable saying I'm an activist because there's so many people who have been doing it for, you know, their whole lifetime. But if I can use fashion as a catalyst to create change or to create momentum, to share the message, then I have to do that.
Are you working on anything else? Is there something we should know?
Yes, I actually have new pieces dropping this month. Every month there'll be new pieces available on BeYellowtail.com. And I also have, at the end of the season, have a very, very special collaboration coming out with Ernesto Urena, who's an amazing Los Angeles Indigenous artist. So.
Okay. So once again, it's called Alternative. It's available on YouTube, on the Storycast YouTube channel.
So there are 6 episodes, and they drop every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh! Yay!